There he is, player one, having lost again. Game over, and good luck reaching back to the gamer's attic.
What have you done to me? I can't see. Where am I? Hold on. Got it back on. What is this place?
Welcome,
Where am I?
player one.
Old school Al?
Good to see you again.
What are you doing
You're
here?
in the warp zone.
The warp zone.
Yep. This is where we keep all the old school goodies.
Amazing. So players, you're in for a treat. We're in the warp zone. Hey guys, welcome to the Gamer's Attic show and into one of our mini-sode episodes titled The Warp Zone. This is episode 2. I'm player 1 and standing with me here is Old School Al. Hi Old School Al.
What's
How
up,
you doing
P1?
today?
How you doing, man?
Excellent, excellent.
There you
And we're here looking at a couple of the Star Wars games
Yep.
from the years.
Yep.
From the 70s, 80s,
You got it.
90s, and today. So what can you tell us about these masterpieces I see here?
Thank you. Yeah, some of them they're games from the Atari 2600. We've got from the old school NES system. We've got, I know your favorite, the Sega CD, old N64, the old GameCube games, and we've got some PC games also. You know, this is basically the standard, the stuff that's got Star Wars all started. This is the old Vector Graphics game. I don't know if you remember that, and this is for PC, and this is around that time, really a long time ago. 83 this says. So this is from the first computer games when
IBM?
they started. Yeah, probably an IBM clone.
Probably a Tandy.
Yep,
Yeah.
IBM Tandy, it says right there. And that's when the first stand-up Atari game came out, and it's the home version. It's nice and sealed. Then of course we have some old versions for the Atari 2600. The one that I guess everybody played as a kid that got everything started was the old Empire Strikes Back game on the
Look at that, guys.
Atari 2600, and there was a 2600 version, and then we also had the Intellivision version. I don't know if you remember the Intellivision, you guys had that. And this is the way I love to have my collectibles. I like to have them with the box, the instructions, the original inserts, and everything that, you know, that it came with. We were talking about this, and some people don't realize that the stuff that played on the Atari 2600 did not play on the Intellivision, and therefore you'd have its own separate version of the same game. Very, very different guts, as you can see in there.
So yeah,
Okay,
let the viewers
definitely
see
not
that.
compatible. Okay. So
Atari
yep.
and television.
You got it. And so then from Intellivision, we probably went to the NES and put this here. The NES was everybody's old reliable. And they had
I love this game.
Yeah, man. No, the whole system was an incredible system. And you know, the old Nintendo games, you put it in there. Remember blowing on it to make it work and stuff?
Well, for me it was and
Oh goodness.
reset power.
Yep.
That's what did it for me.
So then that after the Star Wars version came out, they came out with an Empire version. They never released Return of the Jedi up until the Super Nintendo. Remember that? Super Nintendo
Super
time?
Nintendo. Wow,
Yeah,
16-bit.
16-bit power. There you go. And then from that, they went
Super Star
to
Wars.
Super Nintendo Empire Strikes Back over there. And
Wow.
all along, yep, that's in its original box and everything. And all along, they were Game Boy was going on. So hold that for a second so I can show this. Awesome.
Star Wars for the Game Boy.
Well, that's the same game in here, but
the
like
trilogy.
a special box version that was sold at like Electronic Boutique or something back in the day.
Ain't that cool?
So yeah, we also got some old PC games and just a little mixture of everything, so you get a good feel for all the different eras of gaming and Star Wars gaming in particular, like the N64 version here. And we've got some old PC stuff, everybody's favorites.
This is
Knights
a
of the Old
classic.
Republic. Yep. Yeah. And oh, how can we forget Bounty Hunter?
Bounty Hunter.
Oh man, that's like Battlefront nowadays, but before that came out, you would be as Boba Fett or Jango Fett in this game actually, and just stalk your prey and kidnap people basically. Yeah.
And I see over here you got a GameCube.
Yeah.
Star Wars Rogue Leader.
That's Rogue
Rogue
Squadron.
Squadron.
That's part 2, and this is the display for the first Rogue Leader, for Rogue Squadron 2. Excuse me. The first one had an AT-AT. I have that somewhere too. So that's the display that was up in the video game store back in the day. Yeah, man, we got
Amazing.
some cool stuff, bro.
We also have some PlayStation 1.
Yeah, remember PlayStation 1?
Star Wars Episode
Look
1,
at this.
Jedi
This is
Power
Shadows
Battles.
of the Empire for PC. This right here was in between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Star Wars tried to come out with a whole media not just a game. They came out with comic books and vignettes and all sorts of information, like trying to bridge that gap between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
Cool.
So yeah. Oh yeah, you also took out some old music stuff, man, like the old Star Wars soundtrack on
Look at that.
8-track.
8-track, guys.
Show them the back of that.
For you
That's
youngsters,
awesome.
do you know what 8-track is?
Oh man, that's the precursor. That came before the old cassette tapes. So before the cassette tapes came out.
And this is from 1977.
Yeah, man.
Really cool.
And here's one sealed. This is the old, like the disco version and stuff.
Oh.
Sealed and stuff.
Star Wars disco.
I also have some LPs. So if you want to see some records, there's the Star Wars soundtrack on the LP is right there, right behind our cameraman Ron, faithful guy back there.
That's it. Wow.
So yeah, a little music of Star Wars and.
What would you say your favorite Star Wars game?
Again, this was probably the one that as a kid I really wanted, the whole Jedi Arena, and I got a display back there too, a big old poster about that size. The Jedi Arena one, man, I always wanted to be Luke and a Jedi Knight and stuff, and so of course I wanted to train like a Jedi. But then I was a little disappointed and underwhelmed when I actually played the game, and it's kind of like, you know, just blocking little laser bolts with a paddle controller. And I was like, eh. But
So
you know,
like
that was
Star
back
Wars
in the day.
Pong? Would it be like?
Yeah, I guess something like that. There would be like a little seeker ball, and you would try to block its laser blast with your lightsaber training, and it was underwhelming to say the least. But it, you know, so I had wanted that as a kid. So to get a sealed version of it, that's like a big deal. But I like I said before, I like just talking about this, like what we're doing and sharing with you, P1. And what I like to do is like, you know, have it in this condition where I have the instructions and the game and the inserts and everything complete, but I can still open it here. It's awesome and it's worth more, of course.
It just takes you back to a time.
But I can't open it. So this, you know, and look at it and remember and look
feel like
through
a
the
kid again.
instructions. And look at this. How many times have you, when's the last time you saw 1984, 1983 instructions back in the, you know?
ColecoVision.
Yep,
Very
that's
nice.
the Intellivision one. Yep. So that goes
Oh, this
right
is
there.
on television.
That's the instructions to the one
Okay.
we just featured.
Okay. Really cool.
Yeah, man. Any other questions? Anything
Well-
else you guys want to see? I'm sure we'll do some future
Well,
episodes.
I want to show this off.
Oh, that's
Sega
right.
CD.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is the Star Wars chess game. And one of our members, Travis Berman, he would really love to see this in his hand. Travis, do you have this? Maybe, perhaps? So, really cool.
So if anything else you guys want to see in the future, maybe comment or drop Player One a line that you'd like to see, maybe do an episode on something, and in the future I'm sure we can find it or figure it out.
Oh yes, we'll
Just
definitely
just
be right
about
back.
everything.
So thank you so much.
My pleasure, brother.
Here.
My pleasure.
So this is Player One, and this is
Old school out.
Game Over.